Hey guys, so today I'm doing my December TBR, which is super exciting, and I just went to the library and got a whole bunch of really good books, and I'm being super overly ambitious with this TBR. I don't actually think I'm going to get through all of these, but they just had so much good stuff that I figured I'll just grab what I want, and if I get through it I do, and if I don't then that's okay. So first of all is something a little bit different for me, something that I've never experienced before, and that is an audiobook. And this is The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wohlleben. Don't know if that's how you say his name, but you might have remembered me talking about this in a recent new releases video about books that were coming out, and this one just sounded really fascinating to me. And then as it happens, my library didn't have a physical copy of it, only the audiobook. So I thought, since that was my only option, I thought I might give it a try. It's 7 hours and 34 minutes long, so I don't know when I'm going to listen to this, maybe in my car, but I'm not in my car for very long every day, I don't know. We'll see, but it sounded like a really good book anyway. It's a non-fiction book about trees, as you might imagine, but it's kind of investigating whether trees have feelings, so that whole thing just sounded really intriguing to me. I'm sure it's very scientific, but it sounded really, really interesting. And sometimes I just like reading non-fiction about something that I have no idea about and just learning about something random, so that one sounded really good. The second book that I have is another one that I've been really, really wanting to read, and this is You Know Me Well by Nina LaCour and David Levithan. This was in the top fiction section, so anything that's really popular at the moment they have separately, and you have to pay a little bit, a couple dollars, to get it out for a few weeks. So I just did that because I've seen this a couple times there now, and I thought I really, really want to read it, so I just sucked it up and paid it. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I've heard really good things about it from people I know who have read it already, and it's a YA contemporary with 2 LGBT teens, and it just sounds like a really good story about friendship, so keen to read this one. Then I got something a bit different. This is a classic. It is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, and I'm probably pronouncing that really wrong, but it just is, it's fun to say it like Nabokov. He's Russian, but yeah, you guys might remember I read his book called Pale Fire for uni this year, and I really didn't like it, but then at the same time it was really interesting to read, so I feel like I might feel the same way about this one, but obviously this book has more of a reputation. I don't know too much about it, so I don't really want to say, but it sounds like it's a middle-aged guy who's in love with a girl who's underage, obviously, so yeah, it's a classic. I feel like a lot of people have read this, so it's one that I've been wanting to read for a long time. And they actually they had a few different copies of it available, which was interesting, so I got to kind of pick which one I wanted, and this one I picked because of the size. It's nice and compact, but also the cover was the least creepy out of all of them, because the other ones had photographs of young girls, like models, so it was just, I don't know what they're thinking when they do covers like that sometimes, so I picked this one. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading that. And then I also got an autobiography that I've been wanting to read for a really, really long time, and this is It Just Me by Miranda Hart. Miranda Hart is a British comedian and actress, and she's so funny. She's one of my favourite comedians, and I just think her book would be amazing. If you haven't watched her show called Miranda, I highly recommend it. It's just kind of a, well, it's a comedy show, like a sitcom kind of, but it's British humour, so if you like stuff like black books, maybe, I feel like you might like her show Miranda. I just find it really funny, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Super excited about it. I know she's just had another book out recently too, so I wanted to read that one first before I try and get my hands on the other one as well. And then I also got Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page, and this is one that I've been wanting to read for a long time as well. This is one that's definitely, I've been inspired to read it from BookTube because it got a lot of hype when it first came out, and it's kind of a Wizard of Oz retelling, obviously, but where Dorothy is the bad guy, the bad character. So very curious to see where this story goes. Looking forward to getting into that. And then I got another one that was a booktuber recommendation. It's This Song Will Save Your Life by Layla Sales. This I've heard Emma Books talk about. I know she really, really loves this. I think she said she loved it because she could relate to it, so I don't know if I will, because I don't know if I will relate to this, but it's a YA contemporary. I'm pretty sure I don't really know much of what it's about, except that Emma Books really, really liked it. I've read one other book by Layla Sales that I did a review of earlier this year. I can't actually remember what the book was called, but I didn't like it a whole lot. I rated it 2 stars, but I do find that with contemporary authors sometimes I don't necessarily like everything they write unless they're Rainbow Rowell, in which case I do, but Morgan Matson, for example, I love, like absolutely love some of her books, but then others I'm like give or take. So I might be that way with Layla Sales as well. So I'll see if I enjoy this one. Then I got another book that I heard someone talking about on BookTube, Just Kiss My Frog. I'm pretty sure it was her. It's Man Up by Jack Irwin. She was interviewing the author, I'm sure it was her, and it just sounded really, really good. It's about surviving modern masculinity. This, I guess, is questioning the role of men and having to be like tough and masculine. The next three I got were more manga, and I got volume 3, 4 and 5 of Attack on Titan because I read the first two in November, so I just wanted to get into the next ones that they had. The next book I got was super exciting, and I can't believe they had it because I feel like it only came out recently and it should still be really popular, but it's The Severed Song by Victoria Schwab, and I've heard really good things about this. I've never read anything by Victoria Schwab or V.E. Schwab, but like I said, I've heard really good things about this one. I know there's like no romance in it, which is nice for a change, and other than that I don't really know much about it. I've watched some videos on it, but more like spoiler free things obviously, so yeah, don't know too much about this, but I'm excited to get into it, and my book stack is falling over. And second to last, I got After the Woods by Kim Savage. This cover is pretty cool. I think I talked about this in a new releases video earlier this year too, and it's the first time I've actually seen it in the library since then, and it sounds like a girl, and I think it's a girl and her friend go missing, and this girl ends up coming back after 2 days. She walks out of the woods, and it's kind of what happens after. So I think this sounds really good, kind of like a thriller, but again along the vein of like not what's going on right now, but what happens in the aftermath. So I think this could be really interesting. I'm looking forward to getting into it. I'm not really sure what to expect, but it's one that I've wanted to read for a little while, so it's cool. Then the last one is super exciting because it's one that I heard Jean Bookish Thoughts mention, and literally that night I looked up on my library's website to see if they had it, and I really didn't think they would because they never have anything that gets mentioned like currently, usually. I mean, I've had some pretty good luck this time. And it is The Book of Barely Imagined Beings. It's a 21st century bestiary by Caspar Henderson. And this, she mentioned it in a gift guide, I think, because it's a really pretty book. As you can see, there's some foiling and stuff on the cover, and then on the inside there are some cool illustrations and stuff, like your old school non-fiction sort of illustrations. It's about different creatures that exist on our planet that you wouldn't think do exist, like they sound too weird to be real. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this. Like I said with the book about trees, I sometimes just like reading non-fiction about things that I know nothing about, so really excited about this. The other thing that I thought was cool about this is that it's kind of good timing with the Fantastic Beasts movie, which I saw in the last week or so. I just think this kind of goes along well with that, and just some of the illustrations like remind me of that, so I thought this would be really fun to read, so I picked this up as well. And look how cool the spine is. It looks really old school. So that is all of the books that I'm planning on reading this month. Wish me luck, because I really want to get through all of them, because I'm looking forward to reading all of them so much. Like, I'm so excited about every single one that I just want to read them all. So I'm going to try my hardest. But thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you with another one in a couple of days. Bye.